Two internet giants, one burning question. Google Fiber versus Starlink. Which one truly connects you best in 2025? On the left, Google Fiber, blazing fast internet for connected homes. And on the right, Starlink, high-speed satellite internet anywhere on Earth. Let's skip the marketing promises and see how they really compare. Each category scores points, and at the end, you'll know exactly which service wins where it matters. The outcome just might surprise you. Okay, before we start throwing numbers and facts around, let's get organized. Here's our mind map of all the biggies we're comparing today. Speed and latency, availability, price, reliability and consistency, installation and ease of use, and, how each handles bandwidth for multiple users. Ready for the deep dive? First up, speed and latency. So, Google Fiber? It's honestly nuts. You're looking at symmetrical speeds, meaning uploads are just as fast as downloads, up to 8 gigabits per second. And latency? Basically instant, like 1 or 2 milliseconds. If you're into gaming or serious uploads, this is chef's kiss. Super smooth. The catch? You need fiber lines actually in your area, so not everyone can flex those speeds. Now, Starlink, coming in from outer space, it's pretty darn impressive for satellite. You get anywhere from 50 to 300 megabits per second, with latency that's around 20 to maybe 40 milliseconds. Good enough for streaming, definitely improving. But, if there's a wild storm or heavy snow, the signal takes a dive. When you stack these two up, Google Fiber easily snags the win for pure speed and latency. All right, switching gears to availability. Here's the deal. Google Fiber is awesome if you live in a city or a fairly built-up suburb. It's still slowly expanding, but rural folks are kind of out of luck. Starlink, though, completely flips the script. It doesn't care if you're on a remote farm, a mountain, or, heck, a cabin in the woods. As long as you've got a clear view of the sky, boom, internet. Of course, spots with heavy tree cover or tricky positioning might struggle, but globally, Starlink just goes where fiber can't. So for sheer reach, Starlink totally takes this round. Let's talk price, because nobody loves a surprise bill, right? Google Fiber is pretty straight up. You get 1 gigabit per second plans starting at $70 a month, and usually no weird equipment fees for a standard install. Plus, bundles with TV or phone can sweeten the deal if you want more. Only thing? These prices are city dependent. Some places get killer deals, others not so much. Now, Starlink keeps things simple too. It's $120 a month, flat. No data caps, which is cool. But you pay a chunky $599 upfront for the dish. Oh, and there's no cheaper option if you don't need big speed. For regular users, Google Fiber tends to come out easier on the wallet, especially if you're opting for basic plans. So, Fiber wins here. Oh, and here's something cool you might not know. Starlink satellites are zooming just 550 kilometers overhead, totally revolutionizing what satellite internet means. Meanwhile, Google Fiber? It rockets your data through glass cables, almost literally at the speed of light underground. It's wild how different the tech is, right? Switching to reliability and consistency. And this is where things get interesting. Google Fiber is pretty rock solid. Since it's all underground cables and wired connections, weather doesn't mess with it, and speeds basically never flinch, day or night. Sure, freak cable cuts happen, but honestly, they're pretty rare. And Starlink's got its own quirks. It doesn't rely on local cables, which means storm damage won't take out your connection. But rain, snow, or tall trees can mess with your signal or slow things down a lot. During heavy weather, you could even lose internet completely. So, for everyday reliability, Google Fiber pulls ahead by a mile. Installation and ease of use. Let's see if either one is a headache. So, Google Fiber does things pretty hands-off. A team comes in, sets everything up. You don't really lift a finger. The catch? If your neighborhood isn't wired up, install wait times can stretch for weeks. Now, Starlink is kind of DIY, but in a good way. They mail you a kit, you plug stuff in, point the dish at the sky, and you're online. It's portable, so you can even take it camping or on the road. But setting it up right takes a bit of technical know-how, and again, you must have that clear sky view. There's hassles on both sides, so honestly, this one's a tie. Let's not forget bandwidth and scaling for lots of users. Google Fiber, again, is a bit of a monster. Bring all your friends, load up those smart devices, run multiple streams, and the speeds just don't blink. It's built for big households or home offices. Starlink? It's decent for smaller families or moderate use, but if everyone's streaming, gaming, and video calling at once, you might notice things slow down because it's all shared bandwidth. So, Google Fiber is the clear winner for big demand. All right, let's take a breather and glance at the big picture. If you put all these categories on a chart, you'll see Google Fiber dominates in speed, price, reliability, and handling big families, while Starlink totally shines when it comes to reaching the places fiber just can't. So here's my honest take. If you can get Google Fiber where you live, grab it. It's consistently faster, more reliable, and, unless you're somewhere remote, often a bit friendlier for your budget. But I gotta admit, Starlink isn't just a runner-up. For folks out past cable lines, it's genuinely life-changing. Suddenly, broadband's just available, where it never was before. That's seriously cool. Hey, if you love seeing tech go head-to-head like this, hit save. It'll make deciding way easier next time you move or upgrade. Want more? Stick around. We've got tons more reviews